Hey Peace, what materials do you recommend for someone who wants to learn marketing? How do I get great mentors to notice me? How do I build a personal brand online? Can I get Global Talent Visa as a graphic designer? How do you actually get an internship to a reputable firm? These are some of the questions I'm going to be answering in this video on career and marketing. So if you sent me a question a couple of weeks ago asking me anything on career or anything on marketing, this is the video to watch. Also, if you just want to know my answers to career related and marketing related questions for people who are trying to build their career, who are starting their career, or who want to specifically build a career in marketing, then you should definitely be watching this video, as I'm going to be answering almost 40 questions as fast as I can in this video. So stay and watch to the end.
Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Itimi, a change maker, professional, and creative who is passionate about growing people and growing businesses. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and please always share my videos. It promises to always be impactful and insightful.
So I have a couple of questions and I will just answer them one after the other. The first one is from Just Adebisi. He says, how did you build a personal brand online? First and first, I think that brand is built in retrospect. When I first started posting on the internet, I didn't really think I was going to build a brand. I didn't know that what I was doing was the first step towards building a brand. I just was sharing my story. But like after doing that consistently over time, I realized, oh, okay, people know me for this now. People identify with me for this, and that's kind of how the brand came to be. So it was built in retrospect. And so how I built a brand online was just really consistently sharing my story. And that's the tip that I recommend to everybody. You can start in the traditional way of deciding a narrative that you want to create. But for me, because it wasn't even a deliberate thing, I didn't even start with narrative. I just started with what I could do or what I was doing at that time, and just share my story on the internet. If I go for training now, hey, I went for training. If I learned this thing, I will write a blog post about it, to make a video about it. And just doing that consistently, I began to shape my narrative. And then as I grew and understand what branding is, I could then redefine it. So that's my tip for you as well, right? Even if you don't know exactly what you want to do right now, don't be so focused on narrative. Just be focused on sharing your story at the point where you are in. Share your in the process story, share your becoming story. You don't have to wait until it's all defined, right? Pick a platform as well. Do you want to be on Twitter? Do you want to be on LinkedIn? Do you want to be on Instagram? Do you want to be on TikTok? It doesn't matter the platform. There are people who are doing amazingly on any of these social media platforms, and they are building an amazing brand. So it's less about the platform and just more of you, how consistent you are, and how much of a story you share, and how authentic you are about doing it. Share your story, share your process story, share your becoming story. Do that consistently over time, and it's that consistency that then makes a brand, because people can then say, oh, this person has done this for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years. Or like, oh, they do this. That's how they identify you as this person, because you've done it over a specific amount of time. Itimi says, do you have a mentorship program, or are you looking to mentor anyone? So I don't have a specific mentorship program, but I do mentor people every now and again on adplist.com or adplist.org. But yeah, Google ADP list, you can find me as a marketing mentor. I have a few hours on my calendar every week. I'm allocated to people. I think about an hour actually every week, so you can see my available dates and you can book a 30-minute session with me, and it's free, and I will answer any questions you have at all. But if you want a paid mentorship program and you want it to be more structured and more longer, send me an email, business@businessime.com. How can I make sure my business ideas yield profitably compared to the capital I invested? This is by Unamani King David. How do you make profits from your business ideas? What I think it's what makes sure it's a great idea. Some business ideas are not. Some ideas are not business worthy. Not every idea will make you money. So make sure particularly that this is a good idea. Do your research, speak to potential customers or potential users, do your own market research, identify that there's an actual need for your product, for your business idea, for your product. Ensure that there is a problem that you're actually trying to solve, and there are people who are willing to pay you to solve that problem. When you do your research, the next thing is to deliver, right? Deliver consistently, deliver quality service, or deliver quality product. Keep your promise, right? If you know that there's a need, there's a problem you're going to solve, there are people who are ready to buy from you, you've done your market research, the next thing is to just bring out a brilliant service or a brilliant product, whatever your idea is, and deliver that promise excellently, right? When you do good work and you give value, you make money back. That's how people are able to pay you, and that's how you get returning customers or returning users, by just being able to deliver your promise. And of course, have good customer service. Your product can be amazing, your service can be amazing, your stock can be amazing, but if people think that you treat them terribly, they'll most likely not come back, because people want to be treated greatly even when they're spending their money. So do your market research, know that there's a market for it, deliver the product or service excellently well, make sure you deliver your promise, give value, and through customer service. Always very important. These are like 3 basic ways to make sure that you are profitable, and that you have a business that's sustainable. The rest of them is just invest in marketing, make sure that you market your product or your service effectively so you can reach more people, have the right pricing strategy as well, so that you're able to articulate what your cost is versus how much you're getting. I know that pricing also works with your target audience, so just having the right pricing strategy, etc, etc, etc. How can I get a remote job? Should I? There's a lot of videos on my channel that talk about getting a remote job. I know what, I'm just going to link it right there. But also you can also check out sites like We Work Remotely, justremote.com, angel.co/jobs. Yeah, those are some ones that I can easily remember, but I have videos on remote jobs, so just click on the link and watch. Check the description. Yeah, I'll put it on the description. Do you mind reviewing my application for TechNation Visa next month? This is probably coming late as an answer, but send me an email, business@pctimi.com, or a LinkedIn DM about your TechNation application, and we can talk about it. Can you assist me to get a paid internship position as an HR or admin person? Not really. Not really. Do I need an intern? I don't need an intern. I have a team that works with me on Found Connect, on my other content, and they're doing amazing work. And so I don't have the capacity or the room or the resources to get an intern right now. Do you script the things you say, or you just flow? I script. I've tried scripting I flow rather. I've tried scripting in the past, but it's kind of not my thing. So I usually just have bullet points or headlines or a topic that I want to talk about, and I just let myself flow. And usually I get it right the first time, so I don't always have to do it multiple times. So it's really good. But I think that's also just a result of practice as well. When I first started making videos, I used to actually have more detailed bullet points, but now I just sketch. It can just be 3 lines, and I can make it a whole video about it. So most times I just flow. The Fad Yusuf said, IG life with you. Send me a DM. How can an iPhone be best used for a content creator? And then, would you advise a MacBook or a Dell? It doesn't matter the equipment, the great Latoye. It doesn't matter the equipment. Just start. Whether you have an Android phone, a Techno phone, a Samsung phone, an iPhone, a MacBook, a Dell, a HP, it really doesn't matter the equipment. Just really start, right? That's the answer for you. So just get the basic things that you want. You have a phone, whatever the phone is, get a basic lapel mic and record your content, and you'll be good. Do it in black and white like Selim King if you feel like it's not amazing. I think that's one of the things that Selim had said in the past, and the reason why I started doing black and white videos was because he didn't have a great phone and he didn't want to bother about lighting and color, so he just black and white would be easy. It's easier to hide the flaws there, and it works for him. So just start with what you have. What's my advice for people who are starting their first B2C role? Focus on consumers, right? The trillionaire on IG. Focus on consumers. Focus on the users. Whether you're in marketing, your products, you're in data, you're an engineer, it doesn't matter the role. If you are in a B2C product, the most important aspect of working in that in that area is the customers, is the users. Understand them, speak with them, give them value, do your research, ensure that they are satisfied, learn how to retain them, good customer support, everything, your content, your marketing, your branding, everything, your product should focus on ensuring that every single person that comes in contact with your product gets value. That's how you acquire users, and that's how you retain them as well. So focus on them, do a lot of research, speak to them as much as possible. Someone said, I study economics. What online course can you suggest for me to key into? How do you combine schooling with building a tech career or even building a tech product? And then where would TVP come back? TVP is back. I recorded an episode. I published an episode a while ago, so you should just go listen, and I'll publish another one really soon. For the person who studied economics, what online course would I suggest for you? I think it really depends on what you want to do, right? If you want to go into software engineering, then you take software engineering courses. If you want to go into marketing, then you take marketing courses. If you want to go into content, you take content courses. If you want to go into business administration, you take. So it really depends on what you want to do, where you think your skills are best suited for, where you think you have the most interest in, that you have more fun and you love really doing. So just really focus on the area that just appeals to you, your skill, your passion, your knowledge, your interest, and try it. If it doesn't work, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, always switch. It's always okay to transition, but start from somewhere. Okay. And then how do you combine schooling with building a tech career or even building a tech product? I think everything is about time management, right? Every single thing is about time management. You just want to make sure that you are giving the right amount of time needed for you to pass and still be a good student and come out with good grades. If you're going to be a first class student, you obviously have to give more time to school than someone who wants to go with the 2-1 or who's comfortable going with the 2-2. But identify your goals as a student. Don't drop out. If you can't, don't drop out. I mean, just finish it. Because a lot of people are building businesses and building careers and they're still in school. So yeah, it's possible. So yeah, I wouldn't say drop out. I would say just finish up. But identify the goals that you want to have. What grade do you want to get, and how much time do you need? How much focus do you need on that, and give that to it. And then the rest of the time, give it to your product, or give it to your career. Get internships, do freelance work, time management. Just be able to plan your time and how you work, and how much time you give to school every day, and how much time you give to work or business every day. That's the most important thing. One thing you have to remember is that when you're doing many things at the time, your life is much different from people who are doing just one thing. So people who are just building a career and just building that career, that business, will probably have a bit more time than you who is doing business and school. Or people who are just doing school will have a bit more time for social life than you who is doing business and school. So be okay with that you might not have a social life, and just manage your time as effectively as you can. And when you have clients or you have people that you're working with, communicate to them that you're a student still, and then this is the times you're available, these are the times you're not available, this is when you're in class, when you're in class, work with them and be open as much as possible. How do I get mentors I admire in my niche? Follow them on social media, engage with their content if they post content, if they speak at conferences, attend those conferences, volunteer for their own programs if they have their own programs. That's how I got to connect to one of my mentors. That was in front April. I was in far back as 2017, I think. I've been following her on social media, and I'm like, I want to get into this woman's circle by force, by fire. And when I saw that she was doing an event in Lagos, I was like, I'm going to be there, send her a message and say anything you want me to do. If you want me to be a PA, you want me to carry a bag, you want me to handle a projector, I will do it. And I was still paid for that first. So I paid to attend. So I was attending, but I was also volunteering just to make sure that I really got into a circle. And after that, it just became a thing where I volunteered for a while until she became to like, oh yeah, pieces dependent, people to show up for me, and then became much closer. So engage with these people, volunteer for them, find a common interest. How can you give them value, and what can they benefit from you as well? Put yourself out there, ask specific questions. People come to me and say, Peter, I want you to mentor me. I'm always like, I don't know how to do that. Just if you have specific questions about your life, about your career, about your business, ask me those questions and I'll answer. It's much easier to answer a direct question than to start thinking about like a mentoring program for you when I don't have that. So that could also be something that you can take into consideration. Like, what areas can this person that you admire help you out? Do you have specific questions? Engage with them for a while, volunteer for your program, and ask them questions every now and again, and just find a way where you can be on their radar and also show them that you're a valuable person. People love to mentor people who they think are doing well and who will do great things. So also make sure that you're developing yourself as well. Is it advisable to reach out to brands you like to work with weeks before your PPA posting? Can you share tips if relevant? This is by Gift Ayejoko on Instagram. Gifts, yes. I served at a digital marketing agency during my NYC. I studied medical biochemistry in Delta State University, and I knew that if I left it to chance, they were probably going to post me to maybe Kaduna and put me in a school to teach biology or chemistry, or take me, best case scenario, to like a hospital and be in the lab doing medical lab stuff. And that was not what I wanted. So I'm like, hey, I need to figure out how to take control and put this in my hands. So I started reaching out to people in Lagos where I wanted to serve and say, hey, I want to work in marketing. How can I intern at your firm? And I did like the whole interview, presented myself and say, hey, I want to do NYC here, but this is what I've done as a body digital marketing. I've taken this amount of courses. I've done freelance work on Upwork and Fiverr. Did the whole thing, put myself out there, and I was able to come to Lagos and do my NYC in a digital marketing agency. It almost felt like I didn't do NYC because it just felt like a deep dive into actual work. So yes, reach out to them. What would my advice be? Write a list of all the companies that you want. Reach out to them. Or when you're reaching out, don't just say I want to serve here. Tell them why you want to serve there, why you're choosing that company specifically, and what value you are bringing. What have you done on your own as a student? What have you learned on your own that makes you a good fit for the organization? And it's a numbers game. As with any job application, it's a numbers game. The more companies you reach out to, the more likely somebody will say yes. Do you have a role for virtual assistant? I already have a personal assistant, so no. And Treasure is doing an amazing job, so kudos to Treasure. Can I be endorsed as a global talent as a graphic designer? This is a bit tricky. If you're a graphic designer or a brand designer, that's a better way to call it, or position yourself. So if you're a brand designer in a tech company, a product-led company, then you have a chance. If you're just a graphic designer doing freelance or contract work, that will be very tricky. But if you're a graphic or brand designer, if you're a designer in a product-led company, in a startup, in a tech product, then yes, you can apply and you have a high chance of getting it. Please, is financial analysis a tech skill? If yes, how can I venture into it as a career? This is by Alade Elizabeth Bukola on Instagram. Financial analysis. So here's the thing, the core technical skills is likely product design, product management, and software engineering. And maybe Web3 engineering and AI and machine learning. Those are like very core technical skills. However, in tech, there are other ways that you can give value and other careers you can build. I'm a marketer, I work in tech, I'm a tech person. Somebody can be a content writer, works in tech, and each person will classify as a tech person, building a tech career. A HR person works in a tech startup, works in tech and is a tech person by default. An accountant who works in a tech startup, works in tech and has a tech career. A financial analysis person, data analysis person, any skill set whatsoever can give value and has a place in a tech organization, and that's how you build a tech career without having the key technical skills, right? So yes, if financial analysis is what you want to do, if you want to be a finance person in tech, then yeah, develop your skill set as a financial analyst, develop your skills as a financial analyst, read courses, do internships, and then apply for jobs in tech startups, so that you can apply your skill in a tech scene. And so that's how to venture it. Learn the skill, get better, get internships, get experience, get a tech job. How can I land internship at companies focused on entrepreneurship development, startup incubators? Seems like they only recruit mid-level career people. I don't think so. I think that there are internship opportunities right now again at startup incubators and accelerators and entrepreneurship development firms. I think what you need to do, Kewe, on LinkedIn is basically just focus on, do your research, write a list of all the entrepreneurship development firms, all the startup incubators, all the accelerators that you know, and go to their job career pages and see if they have internship opportunities. If they don't, what do you want to do? Do you want to be a VC analyst? Do you want to be a scouter? Do you want to be a programs manager? What specific thing do you want to do in that company? Find people who are currently in those companies as like a programs manager or a venture capitalist already, or like people who have those roles, and then send them specific messages as well, like the head of programs or the head of this or head of those in those companies that you've researched, and send them messages and send them your profile, cover letter. This is what I do, this is the interest I have, this is the experience I have, this is what I've learned on my own. I would like to intern, then your opportunity in your firm to intern, and shoot your shot basically. So write a list of these companies, what specific role do you want to have. If they don't already have internship opportunities on their careers page, shoot your shots to people in the company who you can actually intern under directly. How can I grow my YouTube channel? Even me, I want to know. But generally, I'll say the two general keywords is consistency and quality content. And then, just understanding SEO and doing things like tags and descriptions and headlines and all of that. Hello, peace. For the Founders Connect, do you interview only established founders or founders who are just starting out? Oh, I interview every kind of founder, whether you're just starting out or you're already established. It's a mix of both. I've interviewed founders who are just in pre-seed before, and I've interviewed founders who have exited, like Stax. So as long as the founder and or the product is interesting, I would be honored to have you on my channel. So yeah. And now, marketing questions. Ooh. How did you discover marketing as your niche, and and do you do marketing for other non-tech startups or ventures? How did I discover marketing? I became a Google Student Ambassador in 2014, that was like when 300 level holidays, so 400 level, and Google kind of like just taught us about like give like overview of what digital marketing was and what programming languages are, and kind of say, hey, we can teach people in our schools programming, or we can teach digital marketing. And I just fell in love with digital marketing. So that's how I knew what digital marketing was, from being a Google Student Ambassador and that exposure that Google gave to me. And yeah, I just realized I want to do this, so I kept training people, learning on my own, and it just kind of went on from there. And then Tencent also said, and do you do marketing for other non-tech startups or ventures? I think tech startups, especially B2C, is like my thing. I've even done a few B2B, but like I'll probably almost always pick B2C over B2B. So I know what works for me, and tech startups, product-led companies, that's my jam, and that's where I do excellent or work best at. So yeah, I wouldn't do for non-tech startups or ventures. Networking tips for people who are new to marketing field but work remotely. This is from Edua or Dion. I'm sorry, I'm not doing screen pronunciation name, but this is from Edua or LinkedIn. Networking tips for people who are new to marketing field but work remotely. Reach out to people, right? LinkedIn is amazing, right? Reach out to people in different organizations who are amazing at their career as marketers, who are doing really well already. Ask for a coffee chat, a 15-minute chat. Get on platforms like Launch Club. Launch Club is amazing. There's also another one that's kind of like LinkedIn, but I can't remember. But Launch Club is amazing. I've met a few people on Launch Club before, and you can meet people from all over the world. That's the beauty of Launch Club. And you can pick the kind of like specific niches or years of experience that you should have, and you can just have like easy coffee chat. Then you can reach out to people directly and just say, hey, I like what you're doing. This is who I am. I would like to connect with you. Do you have a 15 minutes in one of these couple of weeks? So let's talk. Do the same thing for people on Twitter. Just like reach out to people. I think that's the best networking tip I have for people who work remotely. Reach out to people, even in your own organization. If you work remotely, it's very possible that you won't be able to speak, so you won't regularly speak or engage with people outside of your immediate team. So reach out to people in other teams and say, hey, do you want to have like a quick coffee chat? So let's just like chill. I'm drinking coffee, you're drinking coffee, I'm drinking hot chocolate, you're drinking coffee or wine, and we can just talk. And you do that repeatedly, and you start finding people that you connect with. So I would say reaching out is probably my favorite tips for people who work remotely. How do I get started in growth marketing? Learn. I have a video, so I'm just going to link the video up here on how to start a digital marketing career. Digital marketing and growth marketing are very similar. Growth is more holistic than just marketing, but that's also a good pointer on how to start a marketing career. So I'll put it there. What materials would you recommend for marketing? This is my name is Ajiri and Jivinic on IG. Materials I recommend for marketing. I would say generally, if you're starting out, take courses on HubSpot, take courses on Show Academy, take courses on Udemy, take courses on Google, take Facebook Business Manager courses. It's called a name that I can't remember now, but Facebook ads has courses. Even LinkedIn has marketing and ad courses. Growth Hackers Academy, marketingexamples.com, growthhackers.com, marketingexamples.com. All the sites are kind of like leaving my head right now, but I'll try and add it in the description below. But these are amazing places where you can learn marketing. Also, I have a marketing playlist on my YouTube channel. We have taught a lot about different aspects of marketing and building a business. So yeah, start from there. Start from that playlist. Link here. Can you share your growth path? My growth path, that feels like a very vague question. So I'll probably think about it and maybe make a different video about my growth path. But most of it has just been me not shying away from opportunities, saying yes to opportunities, and just doing the damn work. Yeah. Tips on how to write content. Focus on the value you want the user to take away. What is from that content or from that article? What's that one thing or two things max that you want people to take away from there? What's the central theme, right? And who are you writing for? Focus on what you want them to take and who you're writing for, and then write the content. I'm still freaking out about creating content. What should I do? Start, baby. Just let me baby 101. Just start. Just start. The more you do it, the better you become. Yeah, so just start. There's no other way to get over fight. Just start. Will Stax be hiring product or digital marketers anytime soon? Yeah, actually, so keep following us. And if you haven't, download Stax on Play Store. Stax is an app that allows anybody in Africa, especially Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, Ethiopia, and Uganda, to send money, buy airtime, pay bills, without having to rely on the internet, right? Which is pretty dope. So it means that if your data runs out, you don't have to worry, oh my God, how do I get another data? How do I buy it? How do I send people money? How do I receive money? Stax can do that, all of those things for you, all your financial transactions, with or without internet connection, or with or without good internet connection. Also, it allows you to have control of your multiple bank and mobile money accounts by having all of them, or the ones that you choose, in one central app that you can transact to and fro from, and just like live life a lot easier. Also, Stax gives you daily financial tips. So if you want to learn financial literacy, budgeting, investing, saving, you can always open the Stax app every single day and learn about it. I just did an ad. But yeah, Stax.me, check it out on Play Store. What necessary steps should be taken when transitioning into the marketing field? This is by Kemi Sola Samo. What necessary steps should be taken when transitioning into marketing? Or what necessary steps? I think be willing to learn, be very open-minded, learn a lot, because marketing is always changing, consumer behavior is always changing, business things are always changing, so you have to be very open to learning and very open to making mistakes. So you need to have an open mind, experiment a lot. Don't feel like, oh, I've done it before for this brand, so it must work for brand B, or what I did for brand B was more for brand C. Be very open-minded. So and that also means being very committed to learning and learning a lot. And I would say too, always focus on the people that you are marketing to. It's less about the product or the service or the business and more about the target audience. It's always them first, right? How you speak to them, what channels you use to market, the words that you use, how you give them value, the USP that you sell. All of those things is much more about the user, the target audience, than it is about the business. And when you focus on the user, you do your marketing well, you reap the benefits on the business level. What transferable skills can be used in marketing? Everything: content, public speaking, content writing, content creation, business strategy, design, social media savviness, writing, copywriting, financial analysis, data savviness, like being able to understand like data and analytics, business acumen, just being able to understand how things affect business, collaboration, negotiation, stakeholder management, partner management. Almost anything can be used for marketing. What would you say is the most challenging aspect of being a digital marketer? Staying true to trend, staying up to date with trend. I think that's the most challenging aspect. And final question: what advice would you give to an individual who wants to start a career in digital marketing? Again, I have a video on that. Check the video description on how to start a career in digital marketing. And will you coach? I talked about mentoring at the beginning of this video, so refer back to that question. What's your advice for someone who's trying to be deliberate about a career option? Explore. It's okay to transition. You can transition as many times as you want to. So explore. Don't feel like you have to have it all figured out. Bam! I start this career and for the next 20 years, what I want to do in my life. Give yourself the opportunity to explore. So go with what you have, what you think is the right choice right now, that you think you have the most interest in, and then explore. This person says, I love you. I love you very much as well. Anyway, I hope you guys had fun and you've learned a few things from watching this video, me answering questions on career and marketing. I'll probably do another Q&A in a couple of weeks as well. So if I didn't answer your questions, don't hesitate to ask me another round of questions, and I promise to ask. Make sure you don't leave this channel without subscribing. I love you so much for being here and supporting me on my channel. See you in the next video. Peace out.